Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's Ricky Cadan back again with another real life stock review for Real Life Trading Australia. It's the new decade, first stock review of 2020. Hope you guys are ready for it. This is going to be an absolute smashing decade for real life trading, and I hope to see you guys all there to be a part of it. But let's dive right in, take a look at what happened in the last few weeks. We have had a fairly decent bullish run since the start of December and over the Christmas period. Right now, for the most part, we are just consolidating sideways. However, we did get some news that there was an Iranian missile attack on the US airbase in Iraq. So we are actually gapping down after hours. We closed at 322.74, and as you can see here in the after hours session, we are gapping down, and right now bouncing off the 317 level, which on the shorter term moving averages you can see is right here, right between, we're getting caught between the 20 and the 50. So I do think that if this gap is going to fade, it will happen quite quickly, but also this could potentially just continue to sell off and at least come back down to the 50 EMA on the daily. So keep that in mind, guys. SPY gapping down after hours. Just look to trade what you see. Here's the E-minis. As you can see, we have closed below the 20 EMA. We did get a very nice little retest gap on the 5-minute, which I just missed this morning. As you can see here, we did gap down, and then we had this beautiful little retest into the 10, and then we did just continue to sell off. So if you were trading futures this morning here in Australia or just on this side of the world, maybe even the afternoon session over in the States, then, and you did get to catch that move, then well done to you guys. It was an absolute perler. But let's take a look at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones, very cute little inside bearish candle, and once again this one's also gapping down after hours down to 281. So not a whole lot to see here, guys. Trade what you see tomorrow at open. I will be looking for a couple of bearish plays, but if I do see the market is fading, I'll definitely look to play them bullish. And the Qs, not doing a whole lot, just following this beautiful trend, almost creating new all-time highs again today. But for the most part, looking bullish and having a small gap down as well tomorrow. Apple, we are getting a nice gap down on Apple tomorrow, creating a new all-time high today. Once again, not surprised at all, but we are actually gapping down to 292. It's going to be interesting to see how this one opens up, as this is below this very bullish candle that we have right here. It's actually below these last 4 days, so I do expect this to probably either fade hard or potentially sell off back down to the 20, so keep an eye on that one. Same with Amazon, guys. Amazon, beautiful push. This one definitely will go back up to 2000. We have broken out of this very nice sideways movement, breakout, retest. We are going higher. We are getting a gap down, I get that, but once again we are still most likely going to push higher. Got a request for Square. We did have this very beautiful little double bottom. A lot of interesting gaps happening. We had a nice little retest gap 5 days ago, and then we had a gap down which faded, and then we had another gap down which faded again. And as you can see here, beautiful doji looking candle, great volume, and we did gap above the 50, the 10, and the 20 EMA. Tomorrow we will be gapping down, but because we have been fading these gap downs the last 3 days, 4 days, I do expect us probably to fade, as we are at a very nice support level here at around 61.50. So keep your eyes peeled on Square to bounce very, very soon, guys. I have been saying this for quite some time, but Square, great company, doing very great things. Let's take a look at Foot Locker. Another request. We are at another solid support level, as you can see here at 37.83. We are creating somewhat of a double bottom. Still haven't closed above the 50 EMA. I would look for a particular long. If we do close above this particular neckline, look for the retest and then look to go long off the retest on the dip. So for Shannon, you were looking at this one, mate. There is your analysis on Foot Locker. Here's Shopify, not doing a whole lot, just creating some new all-time highs once again. There will be a short gap down tomorrow. Once again, trade what you see. Shopify does need a little bit of a pullback. I get that. If you take a look at the long-term moving averages, we are a little bit far away from the 100. And on the weekly chart, we are just in an absolute steam train of a trend. Wow. Shopify doing a very amazing things for a lot of real life traders. We have got declining volume. This is the only reason why I do expect us to have a little bit more of a pullback. But when we do look to buy the dip, guys, Shopify is a great company, great revenue, and great business model. Speaking of buying the dips, Beyond Meat has had a huge dip, as we did have a massive short squeeze. Everyone remembers this happening on Beyond Meat, but as you can see, we are back down at this particular support level right at their IPO date. So did come back down to 73, and all of a sudden we did have a massive volume candle come in today on Beyond Meat. We are going to be gapping down slightly, but if this is the start of something fresh, again, who knows, we could get another run. But be ready for it, guys. And just remember, we have got the 100 simple moving average here at 111.56. So I do expect us to be a little bit of a pause on that one. Let's take a look at the Aussie markets, the all odds. Not a whole lot happening here. We are getting fairly weak at this point. As you can see here, we are creating some lower highs, and we still haven't broke the low of this particular trend line. But the market is not pushing high, or the market's not pushing higher very quickly. So I did say that we probably would slowly trade sideways in this range for quite some time unless we broke this particular trend. But we'll have to wait and see. We could, if we do break above 7,000, I do expect us to continue higher. CBA, a lot of people in long-term CBA shares. I have been saying for quite some time this will probably trade completely sideways for about 6 months. We are still trading sideways, and I have been mentioning to sell some out of the money covered calls between 83 and 84. So if you have been doing that just for some extra income, then well done to you guys. CBA is just going completely sideways at the moment. But if you are looking to buy, the 200 is not very far away. We have bounced off this particular level before, so look to buy the dip on CBA. Here's BHP, another one that I have been mentioning to sell some out of the money covered calls. Between 40.50 and 41.50. These are very nice selling locations. As you can see here, guys, we have had a fairly decent push. We've gone up 15% just in the last 3 months. So we could go for a little bit more of a pullback. If you are looking for a buying location, probably look back on the weekly chart, and around 35 would be a very great buying location. If you don't want to hold, that's a long-term trend. If you're looking for a shorter-term trend, anywhere between 38 and 37 between these moving averages or at these moving averages would be a very nice dip buying location. Got a request for AVH Medical, saying is this a good buying location? Now, we have been bouncing off this 100 simple moving average for quite some time, and it is in a very, very healthy trend. We do have declining volume, as you can see here, but what I would expect us to do is probably I do expect us probably to close below this 100 level, below this 100 level, and then trade down to this particular level right here, as this is a old resistance and new support level. So around 52 cents is a very nice buying location. However, I do expect us, if we do trade sideways, we'll probably trade sideways for a little bit longer, and then we'll get a very nice bounce off the 200 simple moving average. So on a technical standpoint, AVH Medical is coming into a buying location. Let's take a look at APT. Now, I have mentioned this in the past. This will go sideways for another 6 months, probably like back here, you most likely will get a dip buying opportunity off the 200 simple moving average on the daily chart. So keep that in mind, guys. APT, we all know what they do here in Australia. Very, very great service to have in the retail industry as well. We'll take a look at gold. Gold finally making some new highs. Let's just take a look at the hourly chart, because this one realistically was a very nice little breakout. As you can see here, we did get some nice higher lows, and we did have this very big ascending wedge that we had been stuck in for quite some time. As soon as we got the breakout right here, we had a boop little retest. There was your buying location back on the 23rd, just before Christmas, and you would have had a very nice Christmas present and a very nice New Year's present if you did look to buy that particular dip. So all those in gold, I did say that eventually this would probably go higher, and we are in a very nice trend at the moment. As you can see, we have had a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say this is a wave 5 on your Elliott wave, and we could potentially go up to 1760 at the highest, I think, before we get another decent size pullback. But stay bullish on gold, guys. We are definitely going higher on this one. And last commodity we'll look at is crude oil. Now, crude oil gapping, off the news of the Iran missile attack, we are pushing higher, as you can see. Now, last time we did have a missile attack was back here. As you can see, it kind of just faded straight away. So it will be very interesting to see how this one plays out over the next couple of days, as we did get some selling pressure the last 2 days. So keep your eyes on crude oil. We are coming up into a resistance level, so it makes a lot of sense for us to sell off. But once again, trade what you see, guys. But right now, crude oil seems to be going higher. Last but not least, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Now, this one is quite interesting. We did have a very nice breakout above the 200 simple moving average on a daily chart, and we are currently dipping. This does look like a buy the dip location. We are getting some nice little long lower shadows, and this was for the most part, guys, the magnitude of this particular breakout of the 200 is quite large, considering we haven't had one since 2018. So I do expect the trend to either trade sideways or start to change direction here at this particular level. We have been trading sideways for, I'll just have a look here. We have been trading sideways for 183 days. So pretty much we've been trading sideways for 6 months. And right now we are slowly but surely creating some new higher lows, and most likely we'll trade sideways and then slowly trade higher. But that's all I got for you today, guys, on all these stocks and indices. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you would like me to review any stocks, tickers, forex pairs, you name it, you know where to catch me. Leave it in the comment section below, and I will be here on Thursday with another real life stock review just for you. Also, at the end of this month, we will be having a free week at Real Life Trading, so I will leave a link in the description below. Sign up, get involved. You do not want to miss this. It only happens twice a year, so sign up, get involved, and we would love to have you guys a part of our community. Alright guys, thanks for listening, and remember, love life, live life, and trade. I'll see you all soon. Bye.